What's up, YouTube? This is Marcus Matad. I am doing this lab style. Um, I actually love doing lab style because, I can go out, do a photo shoot, and let you watch it by video, and you can go, ooh ah, he set it up like this. But the what what us photographers do, after every shoot. Even though we had a great time shooting, this is the real world right here for us photographers, is that when we come home, we have to review the results. um, Great shoot, everyone's happy. When you leave, everyone's like, oh man, that was great, have a great time, man, I know you got some great pictures, can't wait to see. And that is the most important thing when they say, I can't wait to see. So we have more than um, one task when we're doing photography. Us photographers, we go to photo shoots, and when we're done, everyone else goes home. They go party, have a great time. But as a photographer, oh man, I had to get to the house and I gotta get these results. So that's why when it comes to photographers, this is why we're more important and we're the most important subjects when it comes to photo shoots, because if we don't push the button, nothing happens. And I like to appreciate all you photographers that before me, uh, while I'm still living, keep it going, because I'm telling you, when it comes to documentation, there's no greater documentation than photographing art, or photographing what's happening in real time, and being creative. So this review here, um, um, is, well, actually it's kind of like a double, triple review. So I'm gonna run it all together. So at the same time, so that I don't have to produce so many videos to prove myself here. Um, what we're gonna do is gonna review parabolic umbrella. Um, we have a Sigma 1.4 art lens here. 80. I'm sorry, Sigma 85 1.4 art lens. Also involved in this mayhem is the believe it or not, I'm gonna tell you, I'm using the Canon 80D. This is 2018 spring. Groundhog said 6 more weeks of winter, and today it is still cold. And we're right now we're in late April. So I'm doing this review, and I love doing this review like this because it also helps save money for upcoming photographers. And I know sometimes you feel like you gotta have the best camera ever, but get a great camera, but make sure you get the best lenses you can get. The lens will actually increase the performance of your camera and your creativity. So in this review, um, yes, I did take an 80D to the to a bridal shoot, and you're watching it right now. Also, I do need to say that I use a twin head. Um, Actually, I have it right here. I didn't read it off properly. I have a twin head Evolv 200. So that's using two of the Evolv flash systems on a twin head. Um, and of course, it's connected to the parabolic. Also, I'm gonna show you. Also using the twin head, I actually used it with a beauty dish as well. So you're gonna see the results with a beauty dish. Well, let's start here. It was a little windy. I did have the mom was there. She actually held the the lighting system for me, so we can get great images. Now, I want to start here, and I want to talk about movement. Um, I tried this a couple times with the Sony, and I want to tell you that when it comes to electronic viewfinders, you do find a delay. Um, there is a delay. There's nothing better than True Optics. True Optics is actually looking at something real time, just like it is, with no delays. When you use an electronic viewfinder, it's taking the electronic viewfinder has to actually capture what it sees and deliver it to you through a video screen. That's why you get like this 2 second, 1 second delay. But True Optics is zero delay. So since I know I was using True Optics, I had them like take this one big step to give that presentation like the bride is trying to hurry up to the wedding and they're helping her with a dress and her shoes is off. And I really think this is like the perfect image. And let's go over a few settings I want to talk about here. So with the camera, you can see I'm just keeping it real. The ISO was at 100, shooting right at 85 and 2.8 and 1250 second. So you see the shutter speed. I mean, so that lets you know that I was using high speed sync, and I was pretty much shooting this at like a half a stop. Um, so I put a lot of power out, and every now and then I used full power. I don't mean half stop. I'm sorry, half power. Remember, I'm using 20 headset here, so when I go full power, that's 400 watts there. So half of 400. I mean, you do the math. So we're gonna make it through this. Got a little allergies. Like I said, the groundhog has proven himself this year. It's the weather has been there. But man, I really the colors in this image. And let me tell you something. This is what I mean about getting a nice camera and the best lens possible. Because when you look at a dress, um, I don't know, my video quality might not be the best, but here you can see the dress, the details there in the dress. See, it's there, and the flower that the flower the bouquet that we use is there. And I know a lot of people like to zoom in on images, but let me tell you something. This is actually how you view images right here. If you was to print this out, this is what it looks like. No, there's no zooming in on prints. Okay, uh, there's no zooming in on screens. So when people looking at this from a true screen, this is what they see. They're not looking for corners. Is dynamic range right? Is this thing right? Is that right? They're looking at it from a screen. You're looking at the image in its full view. That's how you view an image. Now I can zoom in and come up with a whole bunch of complaints about how this should have been like that should have been like that, but none of that shows up when you print. None of that shows up when you put it on the web, because remember, when you're putting things on the web, you have to decrease the quality of the image. Um, None of it shows up. Um, Even when you're doing, I mean, I'm telling you, I had the Sony, and I zoomed in on some images, and I could have just had a full review on how bad the Sony camera is, but that wouldn't be fair because no one is looking at image quality like that. Image quality today is at its best. When we were doing film, it was like you had to have the best film. But you go back to those photos that photographers did in the past, the quality is still great. So image quality has improved now, and it's pretty much maxed out. Right now, everybody's pretty much focused on 4K video, 5K, 6K. All that is fine, but there's no printer in 4K. So you can take all the Ks you want. When it comes to reality, this is what an image looks like when you're looking at a screen. Um, so, like I said, so the big question here is the ADD still relevant in 2018? And from this look right here, I mean, you wouldn't even, if I didn't say I was using an ADD, you probably thought I was using some big expensive camera. I could have told you the Sony, you would have agreed. But I'm actually using the ADD. And this is the image, as it is coming out of the camera. I don't do a lot of editing to my photos because I don't like things distorted when I want to print later. But here's the image. I mean, it looks nice. So let's move on. This is them still. I mean, look at the image here. I mean, look how beautiful this picture is. And this is at 2.8. And like I said, the reason why I shoot at 2.8 because I don't want to lose details down at the ground here when you're doing fabrics and clothing. Um, I mean, you can see the details. I mean, it's a little wrinkle there. I mean, you can't help it because you know, hey, you had to pack that up, but it still looks. I mean, this is like a perfect image, man. Like the bride was happy, and that's what's most important. Who's happy? Uh, a geek squad or the customer? And it's the customer. I mean, not the geek squad. Um, I'm zooming in, and I mean, this is perfect quality image here. Details in the dress. Um, Here's one of the problems I'm gonna point out since we're here. Sometimes when you guys are using high speed sync, you're overpowering. You do white dresses, you gotta be a little careful. You're gonna have to shoot a little unexposed because if you don't, I notice that when people, I'm just gonna fake this out. I notice that when people show wedding dresses or white clothing, now of course this is not what it's really supposed to look like, but this is what you will notice that the dresses be looking like this, overexposed. You want to when you're shooting like this, you want to be a little unexposed, so your image might, when you're looking at it in camera, it should look like this. And I bet you're like, man, that doesn't. Hold on, sorry, turn on this highlight here. Go to 0. When you're looking at it in camera at high speed sync, your image should kind of look like this. So when you come in, you that way you don't lose your colors and your details when you're lighten it up. I mean, this is perfect. Let's move on for time. Senior portrait right here. Now, in this image, I did this for a reason. I did it for you guys. Now, you know, I would leave that there, but I just want to let you know this is proof that I have a light stand this close to her. And on this one, I'm actually using a beauty dish, and I am using I do have the cover on it, you know, to kind of soften it up because you know it's a senior portrait and it's not a fashion thing. But look at the colors in the shirt. I mean, this is the Canon ADD and the Sigma 1.4 85 art lens, and I'm using the Evolv 200 twin, um, the twin set here. But the thing is, I mean, I could have got away with this with just a 200, just one. But I just wanted to use a twin set on this because there's certain adapters I like to use when it comes to beauty dishes and some of the light modifiers. Um, but if you look at this, once again, this is, I mean, consistent in the way I'm setting up the ISO. It's an 85 2.8, and right here I'm shooting at 800 of a second. And most of that had to do because of the time of day. I want to say we're probably at 5, 6 o'clock in the evening, and this is Fort Worth, Texas, and this is me rocking Fort Worth. That last image right here, this is at the Botanical Gardens in Dallas. Um, but I like to step over here because you know I like gotta let you know I know some little hiding spots downtown Fort Worth as well. So I kept the concept going. Look at the chairs here. See here, green, the orange. I mean, the concept. I mean, it just matched all the way out. Her hair. Now, let me tell you a little something about this. Once again, I'm still using Canon ADD, the Sigma 1.5. I mean, I'm sorry, Sigma 1.4 85 art lens, and I'm using the beauty dish. Except this time I took the cover off. Um, if you look, I left this here for a reason. You can see the beauty dish right here. See that beauty dish? Right here is where the sun is setting and is shining on her hair. So all I had to do was actually put the beauty dish in front of her and allow the sun to light her up on this side. That's how you get that effect. You can see the sun right here coming across her belly, over the top of hands right here, and the colors, man, are popping on this, like unbelievable. Um, Details. When I talk about, see, look at the jean. When you're photographing, hey, I need to go back and edit. Oh, hey, look at your nails. I gotta go back and edit your nails, so I'll fix that later. But hey, but I'm letting you know this is just the way it is out of the camera. Um, See the jean detail there? It's perfect. Let me show you a little trick how to make jeans whiter. You do want to you can turn your highlight down a little bit because you want to take that little brightness out. But this is already balanced, so I'm not gonna. But you can change your highlight and get you a little brush. You can brush over the jeans, and when you come down, you want to decrease the blue in your brush. Because the problem with white is when it bounce back as blue. See this little blue right here? That's why it's hard to get that actual white color. What you want to do is you can get you a little brush like this and just decrease your color like that, and it'll make it white. Okay, even whiter. So there, trick. Just learned it. You guys didn't even know it. All right, so let's move on to the next image. Um, Here's another senior portrait. Oh man, you can see her dolly down to the foot, her feet there. Um, the yellows are still staying the same. I mean, I'm same thing here. ISO 100, 85. You know, the sun's getting a little lower. It's dimming out a little bit, so I'm at 164 a second. So you know, as the sun goes down, you're gonna end up turning down. You gotta come a little slower on your sync speeds here, because if you go too high, it's gonna be a little bit too dark. So um, still at 2.8. Let's keep this moving. Oh man, Maddie. Man, if you guys get a chance to meet Maddie and her parents, you would be like, wow. This is not my first time photographing her, but man, she just brings it. You just tell her what to do, and she makes it happen. And majority of my shoots, guys, people tell you it probably lasts like 15, 30 minutes. So I don't shoot all day because we kind of go over concepts before we shoot. But here, look at the colors. And I'm telling you, this is I'm still using a Canon 80D. I mean, no joke. It's a Canon 80D. Canon 80D. And um, we're back at the Dallas Arboretum. And staying consistent here, ISO 100, using 85, 2.8. Only difference is that the sun is out a little bit brighter, so I'm at 2500 second right there. It's pretty fast. Um, Man, and the details. Let's go to it. Details in the dress right there. I mean, this is this is like the Canon 80D just came out, like it's new. They can say, "Hey, here's the new Canon 80D," and I'm showing you these pictures. Everybody, you go like, "Oh wow, oh wow, oh wow." You see that she's all in detail here. Um, and here's where the 2.8 comes in effect right here. See right there, that's where you go out of focus here and kind of focus out a little bit back this way. So you can see how your 2.8 actually fades on the corner. If I open up a little wider, it will come down here, and I don't want to do that when I'm doing dresses like this with detail. Okay, but Maddie rocked this. Is the second picture of her. Um, the flowers consistent, the colors, dress still consistent, and um, in the details. Like I say, this is how you look at an image. But all that zooming in and out, if you guys like doing it, that's fine. I just like producing quality work. So, which brings up the question. I mean, really don't matter the camera; it's the photographer. I mean, if you're creative, um, you understand what those functions are in that camera. You know you need the right lens. You're gonna end up with these results every time, no matter which camera you are using. Okay. Um, and usually, people photograph like this. Some photographers, they'll kind of blur all this out in the back, but I don't really. That's just not my style. I mean, I know how to do it, but I like my images to look like my images. And I know when I lay my images out, people look and say, "Oh, that's Marcus' work." They don't say, "Oh, that looks like blah blah blah," but it's Marcus' work. They know, hey, they look at my images and it's like, "Hey, that's Marcus' work." Um, right here, I took the little lens cap off of the Sigma, and I'm still consistent on ISO 100, um, 85, still staying at 2.8, 2000 of a second. I mean, it's right there. So high speed sync, uh, and I'm not using a beauty dish on this. Oh, let me go back. Let me tell you why I have this kind of lighting, how it's so rounded, because I'm using a parabolic. The day wasn't that windy, so I use a parabolic to get that look. Even in here, it's parabolic. So um, back to here, parabolic. And you can kind of tell which direction the light is coming from. And you guys are professional now. Here, parabolic. Took the lens. You take the lens cap out. You let a little sun in. You can kind of get these little effects. But other than that, still detailed. I mean, you see her dress. Okay. And Maddie's gonna rock it every time. Okay. And here's another model. This is the teenage model Camry. Um, I said, Camry, let's prove to YouTube that it doesn't matter what time of the day, no matter what time of day, you can take great pictures. And we was using a parabolic umbrella here. Um, Still consistent right here. Look, 100 ISO, 85 millimeter, 2.8. The sun was beaming so everywhere. Um, we had to go a little over 3,000 of a second, as you can tell right here, to get this effect. And it looks like we did it indoors at a studio. And this is like sun directly beaming on us. She'll tell you, I said, Camry, if they ever ask you, you tell them that it was just the middle of the day and he took this shot. And here it is. I want to say it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Sun just beaming down on us in Texas. Um, and I got a clean look just like this. It's just a clean shot. I said don't do a whole bunch of makeup. Just come out and let's just bring a street style, and that's what she did. And look, details in the jeans are there. You can tell that she has on jeans. Calvin Klein showing up. I mean, this is how you look at an image when this is just the actual view of an image printed out, standing next to it on the screen. So I'm not gonna go into all this zooming in and trying to prove all these little points. Um, oh boy, here we go. Yes, take the lens cap out, let a little sun in, you get a shot just like this. This is I want to make sure. Oh, please, mom, don't let me slander her name. This is Aria. No, it's Aria. This is Aria. She came out and did a Flower Girl shoot, as you can tell. I mean, I'm consistent with this is the Canon ADD, y'all. Canon ADD with the Sigma 85 1.4 art lens. I'm using the beauty dish on here. I don't have the cover on. Um, so it's a beauty dish. One says 22-inch beauty dish. I'm sorry, guys, 22-inch beauty dish. And when I use the parabolic, I only use the center to create. I mean, I put a little thing in the center to make it appear and produce this type of light as a beauty dish as well. So I kind of shoot beauty dish style all the way around. Um, but Area, she rocked this. I never have any problems out of her. She just comes with it. Her mom. I mean, these parents are man, are amazing. And look at this shot, guys. If I'm telling you, if the ADD just came out, if I say, hey, here's a new ADD, you would probably just go to the store and buy it. Um, Here are the results. I mean, perfect. These are great results. Um, Now I'm gonna show you. Now I just showed you Camry the teenager. This is Camry, the toddler. How about that? She. Let me tell you about Carrie. Carrie said, "Let me show you something, bro. You only gonna get one shot, and you better figure out how you gonna get it, cause I'm here to play." And this is the only shot that I was able to. Well, I had 3 shots within the whole time she was at the park. She was running, moving around. I had to figure out how I'm gonna catch her with the lighting. And we using actually what was no, you know what? We was actually using the parabolic on her because it wasn't a windy day. We did. We used the parabolic, um, and I got it. This is the actual original image here of her. Um, the details there. Look at. I mean, I didn't edit anything here. You still see like her skin and stuff like that. That newborn skin. She was just a perfect model. When you capture her, you got her. But you have to be ready. So your camera system has to be able to capture images without going home saying, "Man, I missed it." And if I would have had the Sony, I would have to kind of set the focus point, and I would have missed this shot. I'm just telling you, I would have missed it. Um, but the system on the Canon was so great, and the optics, because I was looking through the lens and I was on a viewfinder, electronic viewfinder, there would have been a delay and I would have missed her. I got this right on the second, the before the ticker started, before you could push the button and say go. That's how you have to get camera. Of course, this is the end results for the image here. This is what we ended up using. Uh, I'm gonna get in trouble because I can't recall her name right now. So, mom, ooh, don't jump on me. You know I know her name though. Oh, let me see. I need to show you the settings here. I'm sorry. Still consistent. ISO 100, 85, 2.8, 1000 of a second. And we're here. I tell you, you guys are going to remember this face. That's all I'm gonna say. Remember this face. Remember this face. Once again, there's a shot here without the lens cap. So with the lens cap, I mean the details. I mean you can see what's going on with this dress here. That's what's most important. Um, this is how you look at an image, like here. How did I shoot her? We did it still consistent here. ISO 85, 2.8, just a little over 1,000 a second. Okay. Now here is the movement I'm talking about. You can't do this with electronic viewfinder without timing it perfect. I looked at this from 100% optics. So this is still the Canon ATD. She's spinning around and I had to capture her eyes, her hair. Took a couple of times, but we actually got this shot. So, and she didn't get dizzy. So, um, her name is Paris. Paris is a great model, upcoming model. And this is kind of like in the evening a little bit. Um, let's get a little later in the evening. So I had to make a little adjustment here. And the reason why I turned the ISO up a little bit because I need a little grain here. Just a little grain here on this building to give it that little, almost that little fashion look there. So that's the only reason why I turned that up a little bit. And I'm still shooting at 2000 a second. This is 2.8. See, I'm still staying consistent at 2.8. And with this lens, and I'm capturing. Now this is the Canon ATD, and I'm using a beauty dish, the 22-inch beauty dish, silver on this as well. And another beautiful image here. Look at the colors. I mean, it's Canon ATD with the Sigma 1.4 art lens, and like I said, I'm keeping this at 200 ISO as well because I wanted a little grain right there, so I like that little grain look. Um, when I'm sitting here in the lab and I'm showing these things, you know, I'm a little docile, a little calm. But when I'm out just videoing, you know, I do act a little wild. I might have a little something funny to say over in front of the camera, you know, Might be a little loud, sound like a car salesman, but the dress details is there, guys. So here's the question: is the Canon Atd still relevant? Yes. Is the Evolv 200 still relevant? Yes. With the twin set, irrelevant? Yes. Is the Sigma 85 1.4 art list still relevant? Yes. It's proven. The answer is yes. Guys, I'm Mark Zotag. I have some more shoots coming up, and I'm gonna sit in the lab and I'm gonna show you these results. It gets no better. It gets no better than this. I mean, if you have any questions uh, about how I photograph these images, the image quality, um, let me know. So here it is, guys. Here's your review. Is it still relevant? Is the Canon Atd still relevant? Yes. 85 art? Yes. Beauty dish? Yes. Parabolic? Yes. This is a beauty dish. Windy day? Yes. There we go. Hey, thanks for checking me out. More to come. I promise you, man. And these photo shoots are rolling. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Thank you. Oh, hey, wait. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. All right, guys. We're out.